It's just a rich guy, and I actually make no criticism of him. The damage that this new government has done in the space of a short period of time is really quite astonishing.
This is why I know this country is in terrible, terrible shtuck. I watched Channel 4 News last night and I got to 40 minutes in and I thought, are they going to mention the fact that Keir Starmer is under the cosh here? That, you know, Lord Ali and the revelations coming out of the penthouse and the £18 million penthouse are getting worse. That, you know, the Labour Party's, you know, sort of folding in on itself. Even its own members are starting to have a go and saying this is sleazy, horrible, ghastly. And then it went to the whole end of the hour and they didn't mention it at all. Then I watched Question Time.
Keir Starmer, once heralded as a beacon of hope for the Labour Party, now finds himself at the center of a political firestorm. Investigative journalist Isabel Oakeshott's explosive revelations have shaken the political landscape, leaving Starmer's career and the future of his party hanging in the balance. Questions about integrity, leadership, and public trust have mounted, and the narrative surrounding Starmer has become increasingly complex. Can he navigate this crisis and emerge unscathed? Or is this the beginning of the end for his political ambitions? To fully grasp the gravity of this scandal, one must revisit Starmer's ascent to political prominence. As a former director of public prosecutions, Starmer built a reputation as a principled and methodical advocate of justice. This foundation catapulted him to the leadership of the Labour Party, a role that carried the hopes of millions longing for a new political era. However, the journey from a promising leader to a figure under siege has been fraught with controversies and missteps. His rise, carefully crafted to project integrity and competence, now appears to be a facade crumbling under scrutiny. The political storm erupted when Isabel Oakeshott exposed alleged corruption linked to Starmer's leadership. Her investigative report, unveiled during a live broadcast, centered on financial mismanagement in Southport. Public funds earmarked for infrastructure and social programs had reportedly vanished, raising serious questions about who was responsible and whether Starmer was aware of these irregularities. The revelation hit harder than any political attack, striking at the core of Starmer's promise of honesty and reform. With the Labour Party already struggling to regain public trust, the scandal amplified existing doubts. Adding fuel to the fire were allegations concerning Starmer's personal life, including unconfirmed rumors of a separation from his wife, an alleged affair with Lord Ali, and questions about his sexuality. These personal revelations, while speculative, fed into a broader narrative of duplicity, complicating an already dire situation. Critics argue that such distractions may detract from the critical issue at hand: Starmer's leadership and his capacity to guide the Labour Party through its most significant challenges. The outrage from voters was immediate and palpable. Millions of pounds intended to revitalize local communities had allegedly disappeared under Starmer's watch, prompting widespread calls for accountability. Social media erupted with demands for justice, as petitions for Starmer's resignation gained unprecedented traction. Many began to question whether the Labour Party could survive such a monumental crisis. For some, the revelation that Starmer had filmed key public messages, including a tribute to the late Queen, in Lord Ali's £18 million penthouse, only deepened suspicions of deception. Behind closed doors, Labour MPs scrambled to manage the fallout. Emergency meetings were held to assess whether Starmer's continued leadership was tenable. Some described the situation as catastrophic, threatening to destabilize the party entirely. Senior officials debated the long-term implications of standing by Starmer versus the reputational risks of severing ties with him. Meanwhile, his repeated use of ambiguous phrases like "let's be clear" has done little to restore public confidence. Critics argue that this rhetoric underscores a disconnect between politicians and the people they serve. Oakeshott's reputation as a fearless journalist lends weight to her claims, but her motives have been questioned. Is her exposé driven by a genuine commitment to uncovering the truth, or is it part of a broader political agenda? Regardless of intent, she has hinted that the Southport scandal may be just the tip of the iceberg. If further revelations emerge, the crisis could deepen, potentially marking the end of Starmer's political career. The public reaction has been overwhelmingly negative. Frustration with political hypocrisy and elitism has reached a boiling point. Many feel betrayed, lamenting that Starmer promised change but delivered more of the same. Labour's identity as a party of the people has been called into question, with its leader accused of embodying the very elitism he once condemned. The Southport scandal's alleged suppression of whistleblowers has only added to the outrage. Reports suggest that individuals who tried to expose the truth faced threats and intimidation, raising further concerns about transparency and accountability within the Labour Party. As questions about leadership integrity mount, voters are left wondering whether the party's survival now depends on Starmer stepping down. Starmer's international role as a representative of the United Kingdom adds another layer of complexity. His recent attendance at international summits has drawn criticism, with some accusing him of prioritizing optics over substance. This juxtaposition between his domestic scandals and global image has further strained his credibility. The Labour Party now faces an existential crisis. Can it rebuild its image and reconnect with voters? Or will this scandal mark the beginning of its decline? Internal dynamics, public opinion, and media narratives will play pivotal roles in shaping the party's future. Meanwhile, Starmer's leadership remains under relentless scrutiny, and the stakes for him and his party could not be higher. This crisis represents more than just a political scandal. It is a moment of reckoning for the Labour Party. The decisions made in the coming weeks will determine its relevance in British politics. Starmer's ability to confront these challenges, or his failure to do so, will define his legacy and the party's trajectory for years to come. The political firestorm engulfing Keir Starmer is more than just a tale of leadership faltering under pressure. It's a reflection of the disillusionment and anger simmering across the nation. Starmer, once heralded as a beacon of reform and integrity, now stands at the crossroads of his political destiny. The explosive revelations by journalist Isabel Oakeshott have unearthed a complex web of allegations that challenge not only Starmer's personal ethics, but also the very foundation of the Labour Party's mission to serve the people. As the public grapples with the intricacies of the allegations, the narrative shifts between scandal and systemic failure. The Southport controversy has particularly struck a nerve. The mismanagement of public funds meant to rejuvenate a struggling community has ignited outrage among citizens who feel betrayed. To many, this isn't just a political scandal. It's a stark reminder of how promises of change often dissipate into business as usual. The alleged £1.8 million penthouse stay is symbolic of a deeper issue: the disconnect between political leaders and the everyday struggles of the people they represent. Starmer's perceived extravagance has been contrasted with the hardships faced by ordinary families grappling with rising costs and stagnant wages. The image of a leader broadcasting from an opulent setting while claiming to champion the working class has fueled accusations of hypocrisy. This sense of betrayal is exacerbated by Starmer's own rhetoric. Throughout his rise, he positioned himself as the antidote to political elitism, promising a government grounded in transparency and accountability. Yet, the carefully curated image of a principled leader is now under scrutiny, with critics pointing to inconsistencies and obfuscations in his responses to the allegations. The Labour Party's internal divisions have only magnified the crisis. Senior members, once loyal to Starmer, are reportedly questioning his judgment and ability to lead the party through this turbulent period. Emergency meetings have been held, with whispers of potential leadership challenges growing louder. For a party already struggling to reclaim its footing after years of electoral defeats, the scandal threatens to derail its chances of regaining public trust. Adding fuel to the fire are the persistent rumors about Starmer's private life. While unconfirmed, these whispers have added a layer of intrigue and speculation to the narrative. Critics argue that the focus on his personal affairs is a distraction from the more pressing issues of governance and accountability. However, others contend that a leader's personal integrity is intrinsically linked to their ability to govern effectively. The media's role in shaping the narrative cannot be understated. Allegations of bias and selective reporting have further polarized public opinion. The apparent reluctance of major outlets like Channel 4 and the BBC to delve into the scandal has sparked accusations of a cover-up. Social media, however, has emerged as a battleground for discourse, with citizens demanding answers and transparency. Isabel Oakeshott, the journalist at the center of the exposé, has faced both praise and criticism for her role. While some laud her fearless pursuit of the truth, others question her motives and potential political affiliations. Regardless of intent, her revelations have ignited a national conversation about integrity, leadership, and the role of the media in holding power to account. The implications of this crisis extend beyond Starmer's political career. For the Labour Party, it represents a moment of reckoning. Can the party distance itself from its embattled leader and chart a new course, or will it succumb to internal strife and public disillusionment? The outcome of this scandal will likely shape the party's trajectory for years to come. Starmer's international standing has also taken a hit. As a representative of the United Kingdom on the global stage, his credibility is crucial.